Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Derek Dunphy, and you're from Aquascape. We had you on the show last month,
Yep.
and we were talking about the installation of ponds in your backyard and
Right.
having that beautiful water movement, the sound, and of course how beautiful it is. But today we're going to kind of downsize it a little bit because some people have the tiniest little properties, or maybe just a balcony, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You want to still have a water feature.
Yeah, absolutely. We started at Aquascape as a construction company, actually building ponds. We love ponds. You can have fish, you can have all the beautiful plants,
Yes.
and you can interact with it much more. But the reality is people have smaller budgets,
Sure.
sometimes smaller yards, or just not the time, even though we make it as easy to maintain as possible,
Yeah.
they don't want any maintenance whatsoever. And a really good alternative lately has been just what we call fountainscapes. They're just bubbling ornaments of all sorts and
All sorts.
shapes.
That's
Yeah.
what I love, is that even this year again, there are more options. From the tiniest little bowl, basically, that you can have a
Absolutely, yeah.
feature.
TERRA does a fantastic job literally scouring the earth. Like I see stuff here that I don't see. I visit a lot of garden centers that I don't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
And our stuff, thankfully, and
Yes.
stuff from other people.
Yes.
And they all need kind of the same things to make them operate.
Right.
If you have a bubbling ornament in your garden, by that I mean something that appears as if the water's disappearing down into the ground.
Yes.
So it's just a bubbling ornament in the garden. That means underneath there's a basin, and we sell several different sizes.
Okay.
In the basin, you should look for one that can, if you're building your own ornament, look for the one that can hold the weight of the ornament and holds an appropriate amount of water.
Okay.
So they get bigger and they get a little bit, more durable to be able to hold different weights. We sell one on our largest side that can hold 1,200 pounds of material. So if you have a really
Wow.
big, like
Wow.
honking
Yes.
boulder and you want
Sure,
it bubbling
yeah.
in your estate lot,
Yeah.
then we have something for that. And then we
Oh,
have little
cool.
ones that are very reasonably priced, that you can hold, some of the smaller stuff, like we have in behind me here.
Well, that's the thing. So you're walking through water, to the garden center here, and you're looking around and you're saying, okay, I see this cute little one. It's perfect for I can just throw in. But it
Right.
still seems kind of daunting. Like, how do I
Yeah.
actually make that work? Is the
Right.
pump going to work? Is this going to, how
Right.
difficult is this to install?
Real simple. So you start with that basin,
Yep.
you dig it into the ground, drop it down so that the top of the basin becomes ground level. You put a little pump inside with a tube that hooks up to the bottom of your fountain, and put the lid back on the basin and decorate with some stones, and then kind of just plug and go.
It's
It's
that
just
easy.
it's just gonna circulate the same water. The
Wow.
only thing I would suggest, two things. One is they sell a little bottle of what's called fountain maintenance,
Okay.
and it's just a simple couple squirts a week, and you'll save yourself a lot of maintenance later of kind of going in there and cleaning it out.
Cleaning.
It will help keep it clean and clear
Okay.
all the time.
Okay,
So even
that's
one
easy
squirt
enough.
a week would be simple.
Sure.
And the other thing I suggest to everyone, they often forget, is light it up. They look
Yeah.
beautiful during the day, but absolutely
True.
spectacular at night. So I brought a couple of lights here.
It's a good idea. I really hadn't thought about that, but you're right. At night, you can hear it, but you can't see it. So
You can't see it, right?
I want to be able to see it.
And it becomes the focal point of the garden. Just that sound
Yes.
and that little bit of light,
Yeah.
you can really enjoy them at night.
Okay.
One is, this one integrates right into the outlet of the fountain. So all of the Aquascape
Oh, right.
fountains
Yes.
and many of the other fountains that are available, this will fit right into the fountain,
That's cool.
and the water will come through. And of course, these light up. And that's one way of doing
I
it.
like that. That's nice. But
Yeah.
you could probably do both, right?
Yeah, and the other way is we sell lots of lights. All the Aquascape lights are LED, very low voltage, really energy efficient, like a 1-watt light bulb, each of these fixtures, but giving you the light output of an old 10-watt halogen. So for 1/10 the electrical consumption, you can plug these in. They're epoxy encapsulated. The bulbs never need changing. They'll last.
Awesome.
They come with a 5-year warranty, but
Yes.
they'll last 10 or 12 years. Never have to change the bulb. Just plug and go. They come all pre-wired with a transformer, and they even come with this little kit. Comes with a nice little photocell, so it turns on automatically when it gets
I was
dark.
going to ask you that.
And-
Really?
And then you can just set how long you want it on for: 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, all night.
Perfect.
So
we're talking really low maintenance here.
Really low
We're
maintenance.
saying, okay, but literally just get it in the ground and you're good to go. And that, as you say, that 1 or 2 pumps a week of just to keep it clean.
Yeah.
And you really do. You have a water feature that's not. Some people get so worried about the maintenance or that it's going to, blow up on you or it's going to get all gross or it's just
really simple way to add that sound of water
yes.
in a small space to your backyard. So we're really excited to offer that.
Now, are these that you can submerge, or are these ones that are just to stand up to feature
The great thing about all Aquascape lights is they can be used in water or out of water.
That's what I thought.
We're actually selling more lighting material now to light up rocks and trees and shrubs and the sides of houses than we are ponds, because we have a great outdoor light that's obviously durable because we made them initially so that we can use them inside ponds. So they have
that's
to
the thing. If something can be sitting in water, you know it's going to be durable.
Absolutely.
And as you're mentioning, so you're highlighting your fountain, but people are starting to realize you have this beautiful garden. At night, if you just have your porch light on, you're missing all the elements, and there's something to be said. It's almost like having candlelight all over your backyard. Feature your trees, feature your water, your rock garden.
Yeah,
why not?
especially as the days get a little shorter, as we go into the fall. We often talk about lighting in the fall because it's still comfortable enough to sit outside.
But the sun's going down.
Maybe you got a fire feature that you purchased here at TERRA,
or
a little fire pit of your own.
Yes.
And you're out there, and the light around your garden really really changes the look and the feel of your yard, and you'll enjoy it at night as much as you do during the day.
There's something to be said, we've been talking about how trying to keep everything so natural, and people are spending more time outdoors in their yard. They want to be out there for the good 3 months of the year, right? So get out there and make it as natural. So you're having rocks, you're having water, you're having fire, you're building up and creating this little haven in your yard, so you want to spend more time. It's not just patio chairs out on a deck anymore, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We've come a long way.
The other thing people will do is they'll build their own little water feature. So if you have any urn or pot or pile of stones that you want to incorporate, go to TERRA. They can hook you up with a pump, a piece of tube, and the know-how to kind of put it all together, and you can light that up and enjoy it at night too.
That is a great idea, because you have picked up something kind of neat and ornate. I didn't know. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very creative. I could already think about the possibilities there, right, of highlighting your backyard.
Or go and they can sell you a kit that includes everything. Light, pump, ornament, and basin all together.
Awesome.
So
that way you're walking out of here, you have everything with you, and you can create this beautiful sound in your backyard as well, which is oh so soothing. Go out there in the morning, have a cup of coffee before you head to work, and hit the backyard as soon as you get home.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Derek. Good information. There's so many options out there now. So
thank you for having me again.
Thank you. All right, that's it for now. We'll have more TERRA at Home right after this.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're at our Hamilton location, our new Hamilton location for TERRA, and I'm here with Dave Maciulis from Natural Landscape Group, and nice to have you with us again. It's been a little bit, so we have to sit down and chat because we have to catch up on what's the latest and greatest in creating that outdoor living space that you're oh so good at. So we're talking about small spaces and taking even the smallest space and making it an outdoor living room, basically.
That's right.
Well, that's the way you have to think, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've watched the evolution of this industry grow with bigger homes, smaller yards.
Yes.
And it's getting a little bit more challenging. But what I've always tried to have people think is out of the box. You know, pools, patios, and decks were a thing of the past. Now we're getting into outdoor living rooms, outdoor kitchens, outdoor dining areas. And, you know, coming to a store like this, it has everything you need. And it's amazing what you can do in basically an 8x6 space, like we are right now, sitting in our own little outdoor lounge area, living room.
And so you're trying to create this cozy atmosphere and all of the elements that you do love about the indoors, but take them outdoors. And because of where we are located here in Southern Ontario, you know, you will maybe get some cooler nights. So having, and again, the fire pits, so fire, candlelight, all those elements, add to it, bring it outside.
That's right. Yeah, even on a coffee table like this, they now have those fire bowls. You add a little element of ethanol to it, and it creates heat.
Amazing.
Go with a full-fledged coffee table that's really a fire table.
Yes, those are awesome. I mean, there are so many different elements now when it comes to fire alone that you can see that before they were giant, very expensive installments, but now, as you say, a simple fire bowl creates that same environment.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, we are also looking at weather, so weather's all over the place, and you want to be able to spend some time outdoors, even perhaps if it's raining.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Well, then you got the umbrellas, you got the
Sure.
pergolas that have retractable, you know, awnings or shade effects awnings to them, keep the light drizzle off you,
Right.
or the full direct sun.
Right.
Yeah, but again, creating that room environment, you got to maintain that there's floor, so you have patios or decks, you have ceilings, so that's going to come from the umbrellas, that's
Right.
going to come from the pergolas, and then you have wall backdrops, which is going to be partial of the house, or maybe some cedar hedge backdrop, or but in any element of an outdoor room, you're going to have those elements, and then you need the furnishings to go
Right,
with it. So in this particular instance, our outdoor living room.
So let's talk about from the floor up. So you're talking about the decking, and you know, you were even just showing me a picture a moment ago from a property that you did where it looked like almost like cement sort of slabs with the grass growing in between, and like, I mean, there are a lot of options.
Oh, a tremendous amount. Like even concrete is not boring anymore. People are now doing, you know, the concrete look, but then you throw down an outdoor rug.
Right.
In the event of having artificial turf that looks like real grass, which was in that picture that I showed you.
Right.
Yeah, is an element of creating a bit of a verdure look, a little bit of a lush green look.
Very much
but there's
so.
no maintenance. You don't have to cut the grass. And
That's
same thing with
the
an outdoor
best.
living room. Rugs, you don't cut the grass.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
Well, that's the one thing too, is because a lot of people do have smaller properties now, some of them don't even want to have a lawnmower or need a lawnmower. So
That's
why
right.
would you want to have even some little element of grass
Yeah.
if you can prevent it? And as you said, with these artificial grasses that they have now, oh my gosh, they're really great quality.
Well, even the interlocking stone that they're putting in now, the patio pavers, some of them look like tile. Like there's actually product out there that will look like travertine tile or natural flagstone slate, you know, stuff that people put on the inside of the house front foyer when you come walking in. So now they're duplicating all those types of look from the inside to the outdoors.
Right.
And again, it's an extension of flooring.
Just taking it up like a whole bunch of levels at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah.
All right, so once we get from the floor and we start moving up to, why don't we jump right up to the ceiling then? So we have the bottom beneath us and then up to the ceiling. So you were saying about, you know, pergolas with retractable roofs, but sometimes people just have, it's almost just, it's not really necessarily a whole lot of coverage, but it creates a feeling of being in a room.
Exactly. Well, I mean, TERRA now is bringing in these massive, big retractable umbrellas, and they're super convenient. I mean, based on the fact that you have full sun, and again, a little bit damaging for people's health, right?
Right.
But it creates that ceiling element that protects you from direct sun, keeps the light drizzle off in the rain.
Right.
But as you just pointed out, it defines the space. It has your ceiling space, which you know is a perfect fit. And these large umbrellas, like some of the biggest ones I've seen, are 12 by 12 or 14 by 14. I mean, they're incredible to have, and they create that outdoor element of the ceiling.
Because it is nice to be outside. We don't always have these most perfect days. And I love being outside when it is lightly raining like that. And so if you can pull it off, obviously you can't be out there in a giant windstorm and rain coming at you from all directions, but it does give you the options. And again, opens up the seasons for you. So
Yes.
you're spending some more time outdoors, not just 2 months now.
Yeah.
You're spending half of your year outside and really enjoying sometimes all year.
Yes.
Some
yeah.
people really brave the elements and
Yeah.
go and have a, a great time in their
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
right? So it's good investment.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about creating that space, that room. We want to make sure, again, we're recreating it all the way around. So you want it to be cozy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing what you can see from, obviously, from fencing
Mm-hmm.
on the side, but some really interesting plant life that people have growing up the side of their walls.
Yep.
Again, you want to be cozy, so you want to feel like you're contained, right?
Well, even using vines, like
Vines.
that you can grow on lattice details, climbing roses or clematis or anything that's going to be floriferous and colorful.
Right.
But it also helps define the wall spaces that we're talking
Sure.
about in our outdoor rooms. So
Exactly.
we've covered the flooring, we've talked about the ceilings, and walls come from plant life. It comes from the screen details. Even TERRA's carrying these really cool accent pieces, and again, they can be used to create the wall spaces.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to think about all aspects.
Yes.
You want to think, a lot of times when you go into a restaurant and you're going to sit out on the patio, what part of that patio makes you feel good and what doesn't?
That's right.
And you need to have plant life around you. You need to feel like there is some protection from other people or the road or whatever it may be. So you have to think the same way.
Yeah.
What makes you feel good indoors, you want to feel that way
Well,
outdoors.
even when it comes to a place setting, and a
Right.
centerpiece now, they're coming up with great small container. It gives a little bit of a lush feeling for having the plant life. Add a little bit of water, but pretty much leave it alone.
Makes
And
it
again,
easy.
another cool accent here, just picking up here at the stores. Yeah.
Well, we were at, we've shot from Creekside Winery, and they have succulents everywhere. So they've
Yeah.
done the same type of thing where it's low maintenance and beautiful, and it's just lush and green and easy to maintain for them themselves. So
Yeah.
people can do the same at home.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So talking about furniture, making sure it's comfortable. There are beautiful pieces out here now that, again, you're creating, it's like your own couch outside.
That's right.
Right?
Well, and the color selections are incredible.
They are.
Take a look behind us there.
I
Look
know,
at those colors.
and that's
I
the
mean,
best part. So buy something neutral, perhaps, just as
Yeah.
you would do at home,
Yep.
and then change up your pillows every year if you want, your
Yeah.
cushions, right?
That's right.
So really, all elements, think of it all,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter how small a space you're in, you can make it awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Just make it comfortable to suit your lifestyle.
Exactly. Nice having you on the show. Always so fantastic and great ideas. And we know you do some fantastic designs for TERRA and for all of our guests that come in. And there's some awesome stuff out there. So you just have to think outside the box, right?
That's right.
Very good. Thanks, Dave Maciulis. That's it for now. We're going to have more TERRA at Home right after this quick break.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're in our kitchen today with Chef Mark, and we're getting prepared ahead of time for the long weekend next weekend.
Yes.
So we thought we'd do a nice veggie side dish.
Yeah, nice little side dish. And you know what? You want to use things that are in season. So we have some asparagus, we have some spring peas, we got some grape tomatoes there. And then I brought along some heirloom potatoes, and all I did ahead of time is I boiled these slightly in some salted water just to
Okay.
soften them up. Because what you want to do is you want to add them in, and if you notice, I haven't done anything with the asparagus because we're going to do this a little bit different with the
Okay.
asparagus. We're going to cook it from raw. Now, in most cases, I would say you'd want to blanch that asparagus
Right.
ahead of time just to keep it nice and vibrant green and stuff like that. But the way we're going to do it, you're able to cook it from raw because we're going to make ribbons out of this.
When you said ribbons before, when you were explaining this to me, I thought, okay, this sounds.
It's different. It's different.
Yes.
It's just a different way of preparing the asparagus. And what's nice about it is, like I said, it cuts out one step. So in the
Right.
summertime, you know, when we're looking at dishes, especially side dishes, I'm always thinking about the cleanup because you don't want to be inside.
No.
Season's short, summertime's short, you want to get outdoors. So if you can cut out even just washing one extra pot,
Right.
it starts to add up.
And often you're entertaining people
Yeah.
as well, right? So you want to spend more time with them than in the
Exactly.
kitchen. So, okay, so how are we going to turn these into ribbons?
Okay, so first thing you got to do is, now there's a couple ways. You can either cut the asparagus, but my suggestion is always take the asparagus and just break it. It'll snap where the woody part tends to start. So you'll see on that one how much higher up it broke
Right.
compared to the other one, okay?
It's hard
and
for some people
it's
because it seems
thicker.
like a lot of waste, but you don't want to eat that
No.
part. It doesn't taste good anyway, so.
Good growing conditions for asparagus is really sandy soil anyway. So when it starts getting really thick like this, you tend to get a little bit of sand in there. So by breaking it off, it knows exactly where it wants to break, and
Right.
that's what you're looking for. So we're gonna break these.
And there are some really thick pieces of asparagus, and then there's the thinner ones too, right? So these seem to be kind of sort of medium, but
Yep.
you know, obviously if they're too thin, how are you going to turn them into ribbons?
Yeah, so that's
be a little-
you know, when you look at something like this one and this one, which is really thin, it's
Yeah.
going to be a little trickier.
Sure.
But we'll get through it, and I'll show you how. When you're
Okay.
buying them, and each asparagus, depending on its size, you'll want to pick and choose what you're doing with the dish. So if you are going to make ribbons, try to find the ones that are a little bit thicker.
Right.
It just makes your life a little bit easier.
Sure.
Okay, so we have all those broken. Now, this is an interesting peeler because it's actually made for peeling asparagus. Okay, and it's got little teeth on it.
Oh, really?
So yeah, there's a little teeth on that there,
And that's what it's for.
And that's what it's for. And what you're doing
knew?
is you're going to strip this down, and there's your ribbons. And then what
come
you end up
on.
with is just the tips.
right.
Okay. So this is how you can cook it from raw, because now that you've peeled it down, it's a real quick cook time.
Okay, I was thinking you're using a regular peeler, and I'm thinking this is going to be not the easiest.
No, it's not easy with a regular peeler. You need to get one of these. And again, this is one of those items that you might use maybe 2 times a year or something like
Right.
that. But you know what? When you buy it, you have it. It's not a
Yeah,
really
okay.
expensive item
It
to
doesn't
buy.
take up a whole lot of room. It's not like
Doesn't
you're
take
buying a
up-
giant appliance
That's
for your
right.
kitchen, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that is so cool. I had no idea that existed.
Yeah. So we're gonna peel all these down, and we do this at the restaurant. This is one of the dishes that we do with shrimp and a cream sauce at this time of the year. So we do the ribbons, same thing,
amazing.
which is great because then you throw in the shrimp at the same time as the asparagus, and it has a
Everything
similar
cooks quickly
cooking
too,
time.
right?
Exactly. All right.
Oh, how awesome is that? And asparagus is good for us too. So
very
we
good.
don't eat it. Sometimes we don't really eat it as much because we were kind of waiting for it to be in season, to be in its prime, and to taste its best. So. kinda
And that's
have to
really
get it
what you're looking
while
for.
You can.
You know, the imported stuff, it's okay, but it just doesn't have that flavor that asparagus should have.
It's funny how in sort of the off season over the winter we get so used to what vegetables, and if you're not eating locally, if it's, you know, we're getting in the depths of winter, it limits us a little bit. But it's amazing how different things taste.
It does.
Once you get into season, and how a tomato tastes and other vegetables taste, and fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, like strawberries.
Like strawberries?
Right? Strawberries are prime. Blueberries, there's a lot of them.
There we go.
That's great.
So we'll
That's
do
really fun.
a bunch of these. Now, I'm going to take that, and before I put it in, I'm going to take my potatoes, and I'm just going to split them in half. We don't need a lot of potatoes for this dish. I cooked off a few extra. And I like it.
They work. Potatoes and asparagus work together.
They work
for some-
really well. They work really well together. I like the heirloom colored ones. You don't have to use them, but I just think it adds a little bit of different dynamic to the
Sure
whole
does.
dish.
Yeah. That looks nice.
So we'll throw these in. We'll get a couple more of the white ones. There we go. And then we have our skillet. I've heated it up. I have a little bit of oil. And I throw that in. And now I'm going to throw in my potatoes and start heating them up first. There's a lot of variations you can do to this dish. You could add some shallots if you wanted to,
that'd be good.
if you like shallots in there. I've left it fairly simple, so again, it's a little bit less as far as ingredients goes, a little quicker for you to prepare.
I think I'm always looking for new types of vegetable dishes anyway, because some people will eat these as a main if they don't really eat meat. You'll
Yeah.
get some sense of protein from another source perhaps, but I find it's just nice to have something different as a side dish. You
Yeah.
get kind of stuck in those really Those easy ones that really just are something like broccoli,
Like-
you know,
yeah.
where this is again straightforward and easy, but it looks like you've done something major here, and it gives you some variety.
It does. It gives you another dish, a different option, and even when you're eating in season, you'll tend to make the same thing. So if you're making asparagus, people tend to make the same asparagus every time.
Yes.
So change it up. It keeps you interested in using those local vegetables, those vegetables that are in season. So you have just a few more options. And all I did is I put a little bit of salt in there. Actually, I'm going to add a touch more for this because of the asparagus. We have some cherry tomatoes. We have our peas. We're going to throw in our peas.
Oh, so springy.
I'm going to toss this all around.
You know, I guess it's technically summer now, but
Yeah. Now, while that's sauteing, I'm going to take my grape tomatoes and I'm going to split them in half as well.
okay.
Now, these are not going to take a long time to cook, and you don't want to cook them down to the point where all that's left is really some skin.
Right.
You do want them to stay kind of in the shape that they are now, the halves.
Okay.
So we're going to throw them in near the end.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so maybe what we'll do is we'll continue cutting those. We'll go take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll finish up the dish. Stay with us.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
I am a truth seeker.
A storyteller.
A dedicated volunteer.
I am a caring neighbor.
A customer's best friend.
And a client advocate.
I am a survivor.
A social media junkie.
A proud father of four and problem solver.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am the Hamilton Spectator.
I am.
We are the Hamilton Spectator.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Mark, and we are preparing an asparagus side dish, throwing in those halved cherry tomatoes you were doing over break.
Yep. So we finished cutting those. We're going to throw those in, and then we're going to add some butter. Okay. Put the smaller piece back. We'll take the
noticed
bigger
that.
one. Yeah, we'll take the larger one.
Let's just
What
put it
we're
in
going to
there.
do to balance that dish and to balance the butter and everything that goes in here, we are going to zest some lemon on top of this.
Okay.
So I have some green onion we're going to finish it off with. There we go. And
Just a reminder, you can grab this recipe on our website at terragreenhouses.com. So colorful. I like that you used the heirloom potatoes and the tomato in there.
Yeah.
Like, that looks so nice. It looks like it should be in a magazine.
or on a show.
Or on a show. That works too. It looks so good.
There we go. Take our lemon, give it a little zest, and this will give it that summertime feel as well with a little bit of that citrus in there. And there you go. You got some asparagus ribbons for anyone who's never done that before.
That is so cool. And I guess so the little bit of onion that you chopped as well, so that's going to just add, again, because that's the fresh part of it, right? That's just...
And that just, the onions really make everything in your mouth pop. So.
Yeah. Oh, that looks amazing. So again, this could obviously be paired up with anything you're grilling on the barbecue. A lot of times people are sort of cutting back on some of the real heavy carbs in the summertime. They don't really, you just don't feel like it's so hot out. So just a little bit of the potatoes in there, and you have a great dish. And it's just one of many you can add to your arsenal.
And you know what? What's nice about it with those ribbons, you can do this. Put that skillet right on the barbecue, so you continue grilling your meat.
Perfect.
You put this right on, and you don't need
Then you
any
don't have
water.
to be in the kitchen.
That's right.
There you go. That's a good one. Happy summer to everybody. Thanks, Thanks, Mark. All right, that's it for now. Have yourself a great weekend.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.